Humanity is locked in a constant struggle against mosquitoes and crop pests that carry Zika and dengue. For decades, our primary weapon has been synthetic chemical pesticides. But these sprays are toxic, increasingly expensive, and insects are rapidly building resistance to the compounds. Researchers are now shifting their focus away from chemical labs. Instead of trying to invent a more lethal poison, they are looking at how plants naturally defend themselves, hoping to manipulate insect behavior from the inside out. If we can manipulate an insect's hardwired instincts, we can protect crops and people without the collateral damage caused by brute force chemical eradication. This search led scientists to the produce aisle to study phytochemicals, the natural compounds plants produce to survive in the wild. To find the most effective compounds, researchers conducted a phytoscreen, systematically testing 43 different common fruits and vegetables on fruit fly populations. Scientists monitored how each plant puree affected the flies' most basic biological drives, their mating and egg-laying habits. While bananas, raspberries, and most other produce had no impact, one everyday ingredient completely shut down insect reproduction: garlic. In these controlled trials, garlic proved to be a potent deterrent, and researchers had to look at the fly's specific anatomy to understand why. It is easy to assume that the pungent, famous smell of garlic is what drives the bugs away. To test this, researchers used a mesh screen to separate the flies from a garlic source. The flies could smell the garlic through the mesh, but they were physically barred from landing on it. When the insects could only smell the garlic, they mated normally. The deterrent effect only appeared when they were allowed to make physical contact with the puree. A fly's sense of taste is distributed across its body. Sensory receptors on its legs provide immediate feedback about any surface it lands on. The garlic triggers a physical taste reaction, initiating a hardwired behavioral override that stops the insect from breeding. The heavy lifting is done by diallyl disulfide, a specific sulfur-containing compound found inside every clove of garlic. These electrophysiological traces show what happens when an insect's leg touches that compound. The bitter-sensing neurons fire with intense, rapid activity. This happens because of the TRPA1 channel, a chemical sensor on the insect cells that reacts specifically to the diallyl disulfide. The TRPA1 channel acts as a biological alarm, translating a plant chemical into a signal that tells the insect's brain the environment is unsuitable for reproduction. The garlic's effect goes deeper than a temporary reflex. It alters the insect's internal chemistry. This volcano plot illustrates the result of just 2 hours of exposure to the garlic compound. The dots on the right represent genes inside the insect's head that have been significantly upregulated. One of these upregulated genes is called FIT, which is responsible for creating a satiety hormone. This hormone tricks the female insect into feeling satisfied and full, which effectively kills her biological drive to lay eggs. This chemical override provides a level of control that exceeds simple avoidance. It rewires the insect's hormonal state to completely stop the reproductive cycle. Researchers then had to determine if this mechanism was unique to the common fruit fly, or if it applied to more dangerous species. They tested the compound on Aedes mosquitoes, the primary vectors for dengue and yellow fever, and found the same deterrent effect. In tests on tsetse flies, which carry African sleeping sickness, garlic exposure caused mating events to plummet, in some cases falling to 0. The discovery of this shared vulnerability across multiple species of global health threats suggests a way to control many different pests using the same biological pathway. This natural compound stands in contrast to the massive, expensive chemical infrastructure we currently rely on. Garlic is a cheap crop already grown worldwide, including in many of the regions hit hardest by these specific insect-borne diseases. Using a target-specific behavioral deterrent is an environmentally safe alternative to broad-spectrum poisons that damage entire ecosystems. By understanding these microscopic sensory pathways, we can replace toxic sprays with targeted, nature-based defenses to protect global health.